my name is Christina Serrato, and I will be speaking upon the uses and gratifications theory, which is chapter 28. I'd first like to briefly give a definition of the theory and also a quick finding that I found through the textbook. The uses and gratification theory was very interesting to me because it is based on the use of media and the different types of satisfaction and needs that people fulfill when using whatever media that they choose. And the finding in the book that I'd like to discuss are the typology of uses and gratification. It was actually created by Alan Rubin, who was a communication scholar in 1981, and he believed in 8 motivations that explain the reason why people watch television. Those 8 motivations are passing time, companionship, escape, enjoyment, social interaction, relaxation, information, and excitement. And I do believe that all of these 8 motivations have a truth to them. In the end, I do think that when one watches television, from a personal opinion and my experience, it's through enjoyment and entertainment, whether you're watching a sports program, or if you just like watching a specific TV show, or if you're watching a TV show weekly and a new episode comes out, it's for entertainment, it's for enjoyment. And I found these 8 motivations very interesting because these are applied to watching television, but I also think they can be applied to other sorts of media. For example, passing time can be used with social media along with social interaction, which I think is a huge one when it comes to any type of social media that one may use. Especially with today's generation, I do feel like social media is a lot more popular in use. And going back to social interaction, one can be in contact with family through their phones, with friends. They can FaceTime, call each other, or simply just message each other through different applications on social media. Another one can be enjoyment, if you enjoy watching videos online or specific apps or specific games. Another one is video games, so one can enjoy doing that. And video games kind of goes in handy with passing time. If one has a long day at work or school, they can just come home, find a time to relax, and that reason for them could be playing video games. It gives them that satisfaction of being relaxed, or social interaction if they're communicating with friends, and escape as well, just from the outside world, want to plug into your video games. So I do believe that these 8 motivations not only correlate with watching television, but they correlate with any type of media that an individual decides to use, which I think is very interesting and has a lot of truth to it. So that is why I wanted to speak upon Alan Rubin's 8 motivations towards watching television. In the second slide, I provided a photo, which was the result of the article that I chose, which was the uses and gratifications of media migration, investigating the activities, motivations, and predictions of behaviors originating in entertainment television, which was written by Drew D. Shade and published June in 2015. And this table goes hand in hand with the 8 motivations by Alan Rubin, which I thought was so interesting because in this academic journal they did do a survey and they questioned people why they watch that specific type of media, why they chose that specific type of media, what type of satisfaction did they receive by using whatever media that they choose. And the top 4 results were actually from the 8 motivations, which was enjoyment, entertainment, excitement, and relaxation, which I think is a very interesting fact because in general I do believe most of us use or watch television for enjoyment or entertainment. As I previously mentioned, if it's watching a TV show or watching a sports game, whatever it might be, I do feel that these are very accurate, this table, considering enjoyment is the top one along with entertainment. And I thought this was a very interesting fact just because the top results were from the 8 motivations that Alan Rubin discussed. And throughout this table, you're able to see the other motivations, but the top 4 were from him. And it's very truthful to see because many individuals may have the same reasoning as to why they watch television, but most see it to pass time as well. And just as you go down the list, there's many reasons as to why one chooses television and the different types of satisfaction they fulfill when watching television. The second article I would like to discuss is The Attachment Needs and Social Networking Sites by OZ Bihar FA and Golan Uyghur, which was published recently, July 2020. This article had an interesting fact because they actually compared the uses and gratifications theory to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I found that very interesting because they both speak upon fulfilling an individual's needs and the reason for it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs has 5 scales, and it starts with psychological needs, which are your basic needs, a basic need that a human needs, and it just goes up the triangle to safety needs, belongingness and love needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So as you go up the triangle, there are just different needs that as a specific person would have to fulfill in order to achieve their full potential. And a quote from this article was, "Since the beginning of humanity, people satisfied their attachment needs by bonding those in their close circles, such as relatives and people that they personally know," which was on page 44 and 45. This quote stood out to me because uses and gratifications based on media, one may use that to keep their close circles with social media specifically and stay in contact with their relatives or people they personally know. This article even goes further into saying that now with the use of media, people gain relationships and friendships with people that they've never met in person, which is very truthful. The use of social media, you can communicate with anybody, and so these different needs that we fulfill through the use of media goes hand in hand with the different needs that we need to fulfill Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I just thought it was very interesting because people tend to want attachment needs, and according to the article, that is the number one thing they need to fulfill in order to get to self-actualization. And that attachment need can be towards something, towards someone, and the way to fulfill that attachment need can be through social media, being able to use an application to speak with them. If you have an attachment towards anything else, like a specific sport, you use television in order to fulfill it. So these do go hand in hand, and I thought this comparison was very interesting to read about, and is why I brought it up to you guys, and I was able to show you guys with this PowerPoint what Maslow's hierarchy of needs actually looks like and the different needs that people want to satisfy, which goes hand in hand with the uses and gratifications theory. Overall, the results that I found from the 2 articles claim that the uses and gratifications theory allows different people to satisfy their specific needs. In general, it may come down to entertainment when it comes to television. That can also be applied when it's used towards social media. These 2 articles were very interesting to me, as in they gave me much result as to the reasons why people use different medias and why they use social media or any media to satisfy their own needs. This was a very interesting topic, and thank you guys so much for watching. This is the uses and gratifications theory, which was chapter 28.